2009. If I can do math, I can do a little bit of math.
A little. Don't go crazy. Jesus Sanchez is the batter, the right fielder, and he hits that one down the left field line and into the seats. It's foul. 0-1 to Sanchez. 26-year-old in his fifth season. Batted .253 a year ago for the Marlins. 14 home runs and 52 runs batted in. Nola checks the runner at first, and the pitch. Upstairs for a ball.
I know you had mentioned at the top that maybe 3 innings for Aaron today, but in reality, it's going to totally depend on pitch count per inning. So, like, this is his first inning. Pitch count's running up kind of high. That may totally affect on how long he goes.
The 1-1 pitch. The runner's off, and that one is a line drive into center field. It's going to fall in for a hit. Cave is on it. He'll bring the throw into second, but that puts runners on the corner. So 3 straight hits now for the Marlins here in the first after Nola had gotten the first 2 guys relatively easily. And Vidal Brujan will be the batter for the Marlins. You seeing anything out of Aaron at the moment that is?
No, I mean, he's trying to throw strikes, right? Again, it's the second game of spring. His reality on the mound and what he's working on is way different than what you and I and the fans want.
That first pitch to Brujan, did he go? Yes, he did, said the third base umpire, James Hoy.
I mean, between him and Caleb, they will sit down and go, okay, today let's really work on, outside corner, work on this pitch regardless of what happens. Granted, he wants to get outs.
Nola comes set and checks the runners. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and line drive back up the middle again. That's another base hit. A run will score. And that'll be Sanchez heading over there to third. So, wow, 4 straight hits now.
Yeah. So whatever they're working on, Murph, I think they should bag it.
It's not working.
No, but, you look at the hits here, right? So Bell got the double. Then it's a base hit, base hit, base hit, single, 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 single. Well, that is the Marlins in a nutshell, right? They are a station-to-station, base hit, base hit, base hit type of team. Again, as far as they went last year, I was shocked that they got that far with that kind of mentality, the way that they hit. I think they're hoping for Josh Bell, for Berger to kind of start hitting some more home runs. But
yeah, find that power once again. Well, Christian Bethancourt is the batter, and the first pitch to him is a little bit inside for a ball. 1-0 to Christian Bethancourt. 7th batter here in the top of the first inning. Marlins have pushed 2 across already. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. And quick throw over to first. Brujan able to get back.
See if Aaron can use his defense here, right? So whatever, maybe he doesn't have his stuff, he's not feeling great. Try to throw something down and away, down and in, where he might roll over. Use the defense. Let Alec Bohm, let Turner, feel the ball for you.
From the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. That's inside as well. 2-0 now to Christian Bethancourt. Phillies infield is playing Bethancourt to pull pretty much straight away in the outfield. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to Turner. He'll flip it to second for the force out, and the Phils are out of the inning. But not before the Marlins able to put 2 runs across, and we'll head to the bottom half of the inning. It's 2-0 Miami. First here at Baycare Ballpark, the Phils trail the Marlins 2-0. And Jesus Luzardo, the left-hander for the Miami Marlins, getting set for his second game action of the spring.
Wasn't a great start for Aaron Nola,
Nope.
right? Now, in saying that, I'm going to be fair. People are not going to agree with this, but this is how it is. I'm telling you. He might have gone into the dugout and be like, no, I was doing what I don't think I want to do that again, but that's what I was working on, and look what happened type of thing. For him, he might have been doing exactly what he was trying to do and then realized, it didn't work. So,
all right, well, we'll see what the Phils can do against Jesus Luzardo, the 6', 218-pounder, 26 years old. Grew up in Florida. Kyle Schwarber will be the first to face him. The Phils DH today, and first pitch to Kyle at the knees for a strike.
Luzardo's, this guy is legit. Most valuable starter by far for the Marlins last year.
The windup and the pitch swung on and hit in the air down the left side. It's going to be a tough play. De La Cruz over towards the line and in fair territory, able to make the catch. One out.
Four-seamer. He's a 5-pitch mix, but he likes 4 pitches for the most part. Four-seam, slider, changeup, and sinker. Curveball has tremendous late break. I think his changeup might be his best pitch overall from the left side. That's where he gets most of his strikeouts.
Well, Trey Turner now steps in from the right side, and the first pitch to Turner misses, ball 1. It'll be Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Realmuto, Bohm, Castellanos, Merrifield, Cave, and Pache today for the Phils. Next pitch to Turner. It's fouled out of play, so it's 1-1 now to the Phils shortstop. Turner's had a pretty good spring so far. Certainly it's early, but 3 for 8 early on. Next pitch is upstairs for a ball, 2-1.
He's been working hard in the cage, getting a lot of swings in, so he feels really good. Said that swing feels kind of where it was at the end of the year, the last month.
2-1 pitch. That one is also fouled out of play. So the count is even 2-2 now to Trey Turner. The windup in the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one's hit well. Straightaway center field. Davis is going back. He's looking up, and it's off the wall. Turner rounds first, and he will cruise into second with a stand-up double. Hit it to the deepest part of the park here, and he hit it well.
He's had a couple of at-bats that you and I have been able to see where he's gotten 2 strikes, and he's been able to stay up the middle the other way. That's really important for Trey. High fastballs, man. I think it's tough to get by him. High fastballs.
Yeah, he was able to stay on top of that one. So he's a 1-out base runner here in the bottom of the first, and that will bring to the plate Bryce Harper. Harper 1 for 3 in his only other game action so far in the spring. And the first pitch, high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 97 on that one from Luzardo. Working from the stretch for the first time in the pitch. That one's over for a strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, down low. 2-1 now to Harper.
This is good, I think, that Luzardo's pitching with Harper facing a lefty. You know, last year he came back early, right, and had to really fight for a good month. Sliders versus left-handers.
2-1 pitch is also down low. 3-1 now to Bryce Harper with JT Realmuto waiting his turn on deck.
I just think it's hard in the middle of a season to try to make that adjustment. All of a sudden you're facing these big league pitching. Lefty on lefty. He gets his spring training.
That one's inside for a ball, moves him out of the way, and he walks Bryce Harper. Got all over the place in that particular at-bat. So that puts 2 on for the Phils. And Realmuto will come to the plate.
Nice ovation from the Phillies fans.
This is just JT's second game as well. And he also had a pretty solid debut, 1 for 3. That one was a home run. I think it was a 3-run shot, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I know it was first inning.
Yeah.
Does that help you at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Throw back to second. Turner gets back.
Just here for you, Murph.
Yeah. So the webcast today, as you can see, we have a couple of cameras. We certainly don't have the full load of cameras you would see on a normal broadcast, but 4 cameras in use today as Real Muto takes that first pitch over for a strike. So kind of a hybrid between radio and television.
Yep.
Fun for us. Count is 0-1 to JT Real Muto. He takes that one in the dirt. Count goes to 1-1. Turner's at second. He doubled. Harper at first. He walked. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And that one just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike to JT Real Muto.
Mike Lieberthal was in camp. Of course, we were down here with him, and he just was in the ear of JT for a week straight.
2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss.
And what I mean by that, not like coaching JT. It was more like, okay, what do you do? What's your routine?
Right.
What are you doing? Talk about this knee down thing. Lieberthal has no knees left, by the way. They're gone.
2-2 pitch. Oh, just missed on that one as well. 3-2. Brendan Miller, the umpire behind the plate. We saw him yesterday in Toronto. He was over at third base, I think, yesterday. 3 balls and 2 strikes to JT Real Muto. Runners get their leads, and the pitch, that one's fouled out of play. Yeah, I think a lot of former catchers, when they get an opportunity to watch and then talk to JT, they want to learn about his process, right? Because he's such an incredible athlete.
Right.
And they watch and see some of the things that he does that most catchers don't. It's fouled straight back as well.
A lot of the conversation was, again, because Mike and I talk all the time, but a lot of it was like, when you decide to go down to a knee, when don't you? How do you prep for a game? Like JT is notoriously on an iPad before a game, so forth. Of course, none of that was around when Lieberthal played.
3-2 pitch, swung on and hit on the ground to the left side. Berger has it over to second for 1 and over to first. Double play. So 5-4-3, and the Marlins get out of a jam here in the bottom of the first. We'll head to the top of the second with the Miami Marlins leading by 2.
Well, it's time to bid on game used and autographed items from your favorite Phillies. The Phillies auction is currently live and features items such as a Bryson Stott autographed 2022 World Series cap and a Trey Turner autographed baseball with all proceeds benefiting Clearwater area charities. Visit Phillies.com/auctions before bidding ends on March 25th. So I have the website up here.
Yep.
So there's some really cool things on here. Obviously, some things just got on. Zach Wheeler, current bid, $90 for an autographed baseball.
Okay, that's
a
bargain right there.
Yeah. Bryce Harper, autographed game used home jersey, $6,010.
So that keeps creeping up, too.
Yeah. Greg Murphy. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They're selling.
Yeah. We'll pay you.
We'll pay you. Yeah, right.
Well, top of the second now, and Tristan Gray will be the batter for the Marlins. Facing Aaron Nola in his second inning of work. Gray, a 13th round pick out of Rice University. And first pitch to Gray is outside and low for a ball. It's 1-0.
Where's he from, you said? What university?
Rice.
He's from Rice, out of Houston there.
Yeah.
Okay. Great baseball program.
Nola looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch swung on and hit in the air to center field. Jake Cave on the run at the track. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. That one carried a little bit further than I thought, a little bit off the end of the bat, but a nice job by Jake Cave out there in center.
There's definitely wind today. The wind is blowing toward left field. It's interesting. I was a little surprised Jake Cave's playing center field, Pache in left.
Yeah, and you thought perhaps it was because they want to get a look at Pache maybe out there in
out
left field?
left.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I mean, Jake's got to be able to play all of them as well, but
now's the time, right?
Yeah, now's the time.
Jonathan Davis steps in from the right side and takes the first pitch from Aaron Nola over for a strike. Out of the University of Central Arkansas. Jonathan Davis. So a couple of young guys on the back end of this Marlins lineup this afternoon. Nola starts his windup in the 0-1 pitch. Oh, and it hit him.
Oh, he doesn't want to go.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't want to
go
go down
appreciate
there.
that, right? Said, I want to hit, but nope, he'll take his base. No choice at this level, right?
Yep.
So hit by pitch, and the Marlins have a base runner here with one out in the second. So Nola not at his sharpest.
No.
It will be interesting to hear, his thoughts after the game. It always is in spring because, to your point, oftentimes it's not what you expect, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's top of the order now. Xavier Edwards steps in, and the first pitch to Edwards, and he's going to lay down a bunt, and it's foul. It looked like Davis was getting ready to run there, down there at first.
Xavier here now. He's a guy that's got a lot of upside, right? He's a little guy, more of a leadoff hitter, which might be bad for Marlins. I mean, that drops a rise down in the lineup a little bit. No power from Edwards.
None.
Great contact, though. Great contact, great speed. What he does probably best of anything is he's a competitor. Like, he competes, and kind of like a Bryson Stott. He will foul balls off, see a ton of pitches.
Bohm creeps in on the grass in the 0-1 pitch. Down low for a ball. It's 1-1. Davis gets his leadoff first. And a quick throw over.
So I've noticed something already and we're getting a look at Bryce Harper at first base, and he's tucked right against the first base bag with his right foot. That is contradictory to what they've taught over the last 7 or 8 years. Usually he's off the bag a couple of steps toward the runner.
1-1 pitch, and Davis starts and stops. That one's popped up on the left side of the infield. You hear Turner calling it, and he makes the catch in shallow left field. So 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, that'll be a conversation that I'll have to have with Bobby Dickerson to figure out what that is. And maybe it's a comfort thing for Bryce?
I got to believe that's exactly what it is, right? That's the way he feels most comfortable. Isn't that, if you're a coach, isn't that the first place you start?
Yeah, but see, now he's going to, at first base, he's going to be off the bag. So it's a little, maybe it has to do with the runner, the hitter. I'm not quite sure.
Well, once again, Davis stops and starts, and that one's hit well. Castellanos going back and looking up, and it's going to be off the wall. Castellano fumbles it out there, so that's going to allow Davis to come all the way around and score. And it's an RBI double for Jake Berger.
Tell you what, these Marlin guys are just hitting.
They're swinging.
They've got something on Aaron, and they are raking. Everything, it's not like they're just getting singles. These balls that are singles are ripped. Yeah, I noticed with Bryce, so he was on the bag with a left-handed hitter. Therefore, he's guarding the line.
Okay.
Off with a right-handed hitter. They're not worried about the line. So
there you go. Well, Josh Bell, who got everything started in the first inning, is the batter, and he hits that one right back to Nola, who catches it and tosses it over to Harper at first for the final out. But the Marlins add another run, and we're through 1.5 here at Baycare Ballpark. It's the Marlins 3 and the Phillies nothing. Bridgewater. Phil's trail the Marlins 3-0, and Alec Boehm will lead it off. Boehm 2 for 3 on the spring so far. One of those hits a home run. Jesus Luzardo back out on the mound, the left-hander. Line up in the first pitch, and that one is hit well to right field. Sanchez going back, but he'll have room. I think the wind knocked that one down a little bit. And that's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the second.
Had a great conversation earlier in spring with Charlie Manuel, and we were talking about Alec Boehm, and he looked over at me and he's like, you know, I love this kid. His power, he said, is left field to the left field line. And I looked at him, I said, Charlie, you're crazy. Like, he hits the ball the other way. And he goes, no. You know how Charlie can talk. And
Castellanos steps in, takes the first pitch over for a strike.
yeah, so he was talking about, you know, his power, he's gotten better every year. His power numbers have. Last year he finished with 20, but he said as soon as he learns how to get the bat angle right on the inside pitch, that's a big Charlie thing, is the bat angle.
Swung on and hit well. Center field. Davis is going back at the track and at the wall. He reaches up and makes the catch. What a play by Jonathan Davis out there in center field, taking an extra base hit away from Nick Castellanos. Boy.
That's good. Yeah, he ran that down pretty good, didn't he?
Sure did.
But yeah, so once he gets the angle, he's talking, you know, Charlie was talking about wrist angles and bat head angles, all that kind of stuff. He said it's just such a small adjustment, but it can be, to a player, it can feel like a big one. He's convinced he's going to start hitting more home runs left field to left field line.
Well, I wouldn't argue with Charlie.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't do you any good.
Nope.
It just, you know.
Whit Merrifield, the batter for the Phils. 2 outs. And he takes the first pitch over for a strike. So the Phillies have hit a couple of balls hard as well. Nothing to show for it yet. And that one down below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Whit Merrifield. Merrifield batting .333 in the spring, 3 for 9. And next pitch, and that one is foul back, so it's 1-2.
Luzardo, over the last 3 years, 3 years ago he threw 95 innings, 100 innings 2 years ago, and last year 178. You see the progression. Just a really good, solid guy. Not a ton of strikeouts, but he gets them.
1-2 pitch, that one's in the dirt. We mentioned that he was named the opening day starter already for the Marlins, and did you hear how they told him?
No.
The manager, Skip Schumacher, and Sandy Alcantara, who had been the opening day starter for the last 4 seasons for the Marlins, told them together. They brought him into the office and told them together. As Merrifield hits that one down the left field line, that's going to be good for extra bases. Just out of the reach of Jake Berger, and he's thinking 3. Here comes the throw into third, and he is safe.
Yep.
Whit Merrifield showing this Phillies crowd what he's capable of, and that'll be a triple for him.
Well, did you see what happened in the corner? I don't know if he dropped it.
Yeah, it's hard for us to see down there, but he must have fumbled it a little bit.
It might be a double in an air.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Nope, they called it a triple.
Okay, all right. A shot by Whit to give it a full tilt out of the box. But anyway, yeah, so how did they tell him?
I just thought it was interesting that Sandy Alcantara was the one that got to tell him.
Okay.
You know, hey, you're the guy this year. I can't be there, so you're the guy.
Well,
Jake Cave takes it over for a
He was
strike.
kind of the guy last year.
Well, he was.
I mean, Alcantara struggled. Not the opening day starter, of course, but no, I know what you're saying.
No, for much of the season, you're right. Luzardo was their guy. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Cave. It's 0-2.
I mean, these numbers, this is what gets me about Luzardo, right? So he throws the 4-seam slider, change, and sinker, and the batting average against them, the lowest is 230. It's not like he's dominating with just one pitch over guys. I mean,
0-2 pitch, and he swings through that, does Jake Cave.
He gives up some hits, and that's the thing, is he's a guy that's just going to throw strikes, and guys are going to hit the ball and play, and he uses his defense.
Well, the Phils have gotten a couple of hits. They've had a couple of base runners, but no runs to show for it. We're through 2 innings, and it's the Marlins 3 and the Phillies nothing. Thrown 26 pitches so far. And Rob Thompson and Caleb Cotham said, well, let's see a little more.
Yeah. He's mixing it up, too. I mean, you're looking at, it's 35% sinker down to 15% knuckle curve, four-seam and changeup in between. So he's throwing all of the pitches.
Well, Brian De La Cruz, who singled and scored back in the first, steps in, takes the first pitch a little bit inside for a ball. It's 1-0 to De La Cruz. It'll be De La Cruz, Sanchez, and Brujan. 4, 5, and 6 for Miami. 1-0 pitch. Inside and low, 2-0.
The downside to Aaron's day with all those pitches is the average exit velocity right now is just between 92 and 93 miles an hour. That's not where Aaron lives.
2-0 pitch. Swung on, and that's a line drive into left field. And that is, oh, what a catch by Christian Pache. He lays out and makes the catch. Wow. We're seeing some defense this afternoon.
Pache.
So, Stock, you wanted to see Pache in left. What do you think?
I did. Pache, like I said, great catch, great athlete, still working on his jumps. But, man, how about that? It was a terrific catch.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, that's the first out here in the third. It'll bring up Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez singled an RBI in the first. And first pitch to him is a line drive into left center field. And that one is going to find the gap and one-hop the wall. So Sanchez will cruise into second with his second hit of the game. And he's a one-out base runner here in the third.
I mean, they got a few of their guys here today. I was talking to the radio guys for the Marlins, and they're like, yeah, we didn't bring our, yesterday most of the big guns played. I mean, these guys.
Well, as I said, 4 projected starters, in their lineup. Berger, Bell, De La Cruz, and Sanchez are all guys that are going to be starters. Brujan is the batter. He singled back in the first as well. And first pitch to him, now that'll play. Yeah, they are definitely taking their hacks.
Yeah.
Guess that's why Jonathan Davis was so upset he got hit by that pitch. He's like, oh, everyone else is getting a swing. Why can't I? The windup in the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, line drive just out of the reach of Whit Merrifield, and that's going to score another run. Brujan thinks about second, but Cave able to get it back in. But an RBI single for Brujan. He's 2 for 2 on the day, and Marlins now lead it 4-0.
Well, I mean, whatever you want to say, this right now is just a good old-fashioned walloping. I mean, they're seeing the ball out of his hand. Can I see that word? I don't think I could spell walloping, but I mean, that's what's happening. I mean, he's just not hiding the ball. They're seeing the ball great. They're getting good pitches to hit, and they're just not missing.
Christian Bethancourt grounded out in his only at-bat back in the first is the batter, and he check swings and fouls that one. Past Tristan Gray in the on-deck circle. Brujan takes his lead off first. Nola takes a look in the 0-1 pitch. It's down low and in for a ball. It's 1-1. Rob Thompson and Caleb Cotham don't look overly concerned as they sit and watch what's happening this afternoon with Aaron. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
The Phillies over in Lakeland have got a 1-0 lead over there. Rangers on the bump.
Yeah, first time for Ranger Suarez this spring. Another throw over to first. Yeah, so we haven't had a chance to see Ranger pitch yet, but out there today in Lakeland, getting his first start. Still waiting to see Taijuan Walker, right?
Yep.
And Zach Wheeler. 1-2 pitch, throw over to first again.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's on their own pace, their own schedule. They throw in the backfields, and it's just a matter of getting the arm strength up and when they're going to throw. And these guys are so smart, the coaching staff, on how many innings they want to get them and when when's a good time. Spring can get long.
For sure. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to the shortstop Turner. Over to second for one. Back to first, double play. So that's exactly what Aaron Nola needed here to end the top of the third inning. But the Marlins put another run on the board. And as we head to the bottom half, it's 4-0 Miami.
Weekend. Join us on Saturday, March 30th at 4:05 p.m. when the Phils host the Braves and fans 15 and over receive a T-shirt. Visit Phillies.com today to secure your seats.
Well, bottom of the third, Phils trail it by 4. Bethancourt just getting out behind the plate, so he'll take that final warm-up pitch from Luzardo and throw down to second. And we'll be ready to go. It'll be Christian Pache, and then the top of the order for the Phils. Pache flashing the leather last inning. See what he can do with the lumber. He had a long home run. Was that yesterday that he hit the long home run? Yeah. And he's his first pitch swinging there. Berger has it on 2 hops. And over to first for the out. So one quick out for Jesus Luzardo here in the third, and that'll bring up Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, Pache yesterday in Toronto hit an opposite field home run to the deepest part of the ballpark there, and cleared the 3 rows of seats that are in right center field out there. It was
great. It was great because he did it during on the Blue Jays TV. They were interviewing the
That's
pitcher
right.
that had just come out. Great timing.
Schwarber takes that over for a strike. Kyle flew out to center field in his first at bat. Next pitch in the dirt.
Still don't know how Kyle Schwarber can hit with the sunglasses on. I never was able to do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't ever get the depth perception down. Now, we were not allowed to wear sunglasses.
Right. You had to wear the flip downs.
We wore the flip downs. And then slowly the doctors started coming out and saying, hey, man, you got to get glasses on these guys. It helps them.
Big swing, no contact there. 2-2 to Kyle Schwarber. It helps them.
It helps with the health of their eyes.
Protect their eyes. Yeah.
They're out in batting practice all day long in the sun, especially in spring training. Yeah, so then they encourage the guys to have them at least when you're out getting ready. But I just didn't like taking them off, putting them back on, taking them off, putting them back on.
2-2 pitch, down low. 3-2.
I don't even know if they still make the flip downs. I can't remember the last time I've seen them.
You know, we did see someone had them last season. I forget who. In the middle of the year, 3-2 pitch on the outside corner. A called third strike, so that's the second out here in the third, and the second strikeout for Luzardo. Yeah, I do remember someone went retro last year and had to flip. Yeah, unfortunately, I know it feels very normal to you, but it's retro now. Hey, you and I are the same age, so. Trey Turner will be the batter. He doubled in his first at bat. Takes that first pitch.
I can't be the only one with T-shirts that are 20 years old in my closet.
Yeah, well, I don't have any of those. I don't have any of those. The 1-0 pitch. It's a little bit inside and low as well. Is the T-shirt, does it fit great, or you just, it's like nice and soft, or it's got like a funny pic? Why would you save a T-shirt that long?
A T-shirt that long, is it nice and soft? Okay, that's a really good question. I don't know that I have any left as of like 3 months ago. I got rid of everything. But Mama was always on me about T-shirts that were old and so forth. I don't know. It's just a comfort level, and in my mind, certain shirts, I look just 20 years younger.
Oh, that mirror.
I don't think it works.
It is a deceptive thing, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
3-1 pitch, swung on and hit down the left field line, but foul. You don't have a Minute with Murph T-shirt, do you? I'll have to get you one of those.
I don't have that, no.
Yeah. No, I honestly, before anyone asks, I don't have any left either.
Okay.
So they're gone.
Oh, wow.
3-2 pitch.
Thanks.
And a line drive, foul again.
Wait. Did you just offer me a shirt and then say, yeah, I don't have
one?
one?
No, I asked if you had one.
You're right.
Then I got to get you one. Yeah.
It's like making a bet with money you don't have, Murph.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Oh, I see.
Count is full to Trey Turner. Here in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit hard, but right at the shortstop Edwards. And over to first in time to get Turner. So Phils go down 1-2-3 in the third. That will probably be the end of the day for Jesus Luzardo. We'll see. But we'll head to the 4th inning. And still 4-0 Miami.
They're going to head into the top of the 4th inning with a new pitcher. Aaron Nola is out of there after 3. It's going to be the big boy on the mound, big righty, Spencer Turnbull. Finally gets an appearance. This will be his first official appearance of spring training. I will say he made quite a name for himself at the golf tournament, consistently hitting at .330. So see how he does as he's on the mound. He will face Tristan Gray and Jonathan Davis, 8 and 9 hitter here for the Marlins. He's going to work out of the windup.
Turnbull, of course, made his debut in 2018 for the Tigers and spent 5 seasons with them, but now in a Phillies uniform.
Now he was 14 with the Tigers. Dave Dombrowski was there, right? Wasn't he? I think he's a Dave Dombrowski guy.
I don't think Dave was in Detroit at that point.
No?
No.
What do I know? He got it ranked as high as number 7 prospect with the Tigers. That was back in 15 and 16. A big boy, though.
Yeah, 6'3", 210.
Check swing. I think that's a strike.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask you last night. How did it go for you last night at the dinner? We had a big season ticket type.
Yeah, suite holders in town. They're out there on Frenchie's
Oh,
Tiki Bar today, enjoying the ball game. But yeah, all the folks that own suites at the ballparks or premium seating at the ballparks get invited down here for a weekend. Yeah, it was a great dinner.
yeah, very good dinner.
Always a lot of fun to talk to the folks. They're fired up for this season, that's for sure.
1-2 pitch, foul back. It's interesting. So I have to drive to the dinner. This happened last year too. I get there at like 5 to 7. Now it starts at 7 o'clock. I walk in. You were there, fortunately, this year.
Yeah.
But there's like nobody there yet. And then I think they all walk. They like herd them over.
Yep, from the
And
hotel,
it's
which is
instantly full.
yeah.
2. That ball is just a little outside. 2-2. Justin
Yeah,
Gray.
we were the first ones there.
Who, you and Krista?
Krista and I walked in. The only other person there was Dave Buck,
Oh, okay.
our executive vice president, and he was there. And we were like, "It does start at 7, right?"
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball down. Count goes full.
But to your point, by 7:05, it was packed.
Packed.
Yeah,
Just packed.
a lot of fun.
Now, Turnbull now, he has 5 Major League Baseball seasons, so he's a guy that's vying for a spot, some sort of a role here. Now, if he was to not make this team or whatever, he's going to have to agree to actually go down. They got him on strike 3 in a low strike zone. Doesn't look like he likes the call, but guess what? That is strike 3. Good pitch at the bottom of the zone for out number 1. I'll bring up Jonathan Davis, who, again, was hit his last at-bat and was not very happy about it.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets to swing the bat this time.
The good and bad of Spencer Turnbull, you know, in 2018 and 19, he really struggled going 3-19, 4.76 ERA, but he recovered. 2020 and 21, he was great. Had a great season, plus he threw a no-hitter. And unfortunately, that's when the injury came. He had Tommy John, and that really set him back at that time.
He's a former second-round pick. You know, he's a guy that had a high pedigree coming out of the University of Alabama. And he's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good at parts of his career, and Phil's certainly hoping that he can add something to their roster, to their bullpen at some point this season.
And that was a question I had actually early was, is he bullpen piece? Is he starter piece? But he said he'll do either one. Good pitch, just missed at the bottom of the zone. The count's going to run 2-1 here with Jonathan Davis at the plate, the 9-hitter for the Marlins. That's a good slider. Swing and a miss. 4-0. Marlins are up. They kind of took care of Aaron Nola, who threw 3 innings but gave up some hard-hit balls. I've got Aaron giving up 7 hits. I have that right?
3, 4.
8 hits. I don't want to add an extra one, Murph.
7.
7 hits. 3-2 count, 1 out.
Yeah, we'll try to bring you, anything that Aaron says when he talks to the writers coming up probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Generally, the starters will talk.
Pitch, slider, swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Turnbull. Same pitch that he got Tristan Gray on. Second out of the inning. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Xavier Edwards. I can pretty much tell you, don't you think Nola's going to basically say, man, I just didn't hit my spots. I stunk today? Or
Well, I don't know.
know.
I mean, or he'll say, here's what I was trying to do,
Right.
and maybe it wasn't effective, but this is what I was working on kind of thing. That's why you never really do know with starting pitching, well, with any pitching in the spring. But certainly the Marlins were seeing the ball well, and they hit a handful of balls pretty hard.
Top of the 4th inning here, 2 outs. Xavier Edwards up, leadoff hitter. Take it for a strike. Alec Boehm's going to play way in. They got the book on him, so he's in, actually taking a step in on the grass. You can see that in the camera where he's playing. Outfield is opposite way. Pitch, little ground ball towards second base. Merrifield, no problem. Throws it out for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice job, Spencer Turnbull, for your first action with the Phillies. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies down 4-0. This is going to be big right-hander Declan Cronin on the right side. He's a slider, sinker, four-seam fastball guy. Tell you what, Luzardo looked pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know, he's the real deal. I think we've pretty much seen that over the last couple of seasons, and he's going to be a good one for them.
Yeah.
Whether or not the Marlins have enough arms is probably going to be the question for them.
Right.
You know, remember, Jesus Luzardo started, I believe it was the first game, the wild card game, Phillies, and yeah, it was Zach Wheeler and Jesus
That's
Luzardo
right.
in game 1, and Phil's able to win that one.
Cronin's going to come in and go ahead and face Bryce Harper. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
First pitch is a strike.
You got your home run call ready?
Oh, yes. Yes, I've done a little bit of play-by-play. I thank you for letting me do that. And then every time I give it back to you, then they get a home run.
Well, I feel like you're going to need it right about now.
So
get
we
ready.
have a call.
Yeah.
Swing. Ooh, that was a pretty good cut right there. Fouled it straight back. Count is at 1-2 against Bryce.
Yeah, he may not get that pitch again.
No. Walked his first time up.
Yeah, he walked on 5 pitches.
The pitch, down and in. Yeah, we're talking about the Marlins pitchers, and I have talked a lot about the Phillies last year had 11 different players start. The Marlins actually had 14 different pitchers actually get a start for them during the year. Pretty good pitch right there, just missed off the plate.
Yeah, pitching depth, I mean, it's so darn important right across Major League Baseball, that's for sure. You can never have too much of it.
3-2 pitch here to Harper. Swing and a foul ball. Just got a piece of it. They're going to play Harper to pull across the infield, and of course a little bit the other way, especially with 2 strikes in the outfield. Phillies down 4-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Leadoff hitter, it's Bryce Harper. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a bullet foul the opposite way.
And once again, we can say thank you for the Nets.
Yeah.
That was a screamer. Let's see if we can give the Phillies fans here something to cheer about, right?
Right.
It's a little quiet here at Baycare at the moment.
Same spot.
Ooh. They're peppering our poor cameraman down there in the third base dugout. A lookout.
No one's waving a white flag yet, so I think they're all right. Bryce taking a little bit of time here. Clock sits down about 10 seconds, 3-2 count. Fouled off the last 2 pitches. A ground ball toward Bell. Nice play on the backhand side by Bell. Throws it to his pitcher who's covering Cronin for the first out of the inning. Nice play. Josh Bell over there at first base came over, what, mid-season?
Mid-season last year, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of home runs. They're counting on him, I think, to kind of take the place of the loss of Soler. JT Realmuto will be hitter number 2 of the inning with 1 out.
Yeah, he hit 11 home runs in just 53 games for the Marlins last year, on their way to making the postseason.
So the Marlins this year, you know, they have a new president of operations, Peter Bendix. Now I think he's came over, I believe, from Tampa Bay. At least he spent some time there. And the word going around right now is basically the Marlins are looking to kind of replicate what Tampa Bay has done over the years.
Makes sense, right?
Right. So I had to ask. him, well, what exactly does that mean to replicate Tampa Bay? Bullet towards shortstop, 1 hop. Nice play by Edwards to make the adjustment to throw JT out. It's 2 nice plays defensively from the Marlins in the infield.
Yeah, that was a rocket off the bat of JT. If he doesn't catch that, it goes through him.
Yeah, exactly. That'll bring up Alec Boehm. Nice job by JT to get his hacks in.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So, well, let me stop you real quick and ask you a question about that, because you know JT hits the ball hard. Obviously, he hits it right at a guy. But in spring, you go back to the dugout and say, "All right,
oh,
that
absolutely,
felt good." Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You'd actually say that at any time of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, actually felt good. Yeah. Remember, JT is one of those guys too that's been kind of working on this leg kick issue.
Yeah.
And he now has made the point to himself, say, I got to tone down the leg kick. That is a emphasis for him. It's a ground ball toward third. It's a dribbler. They're going to have to let this go, and it will dribble foul. Yeah, so to replicate. So if I asked you to replicate the Rays, could you give me a guess on what that means to you?
Well, here's what I think it means. I think it means you have to be outstanding in your drafting of players and bringing players into the organization, because they bring in these young players, and the Rays have been so successful getting these young players to the big leagues and them playing well. The problem is they can't hold on to them, right?
Exactly.
Deep into their career. But they've won so much that I think you have to say that Tampa's been a very successful franchise over the last decade, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, teams that don't have the payroll options that some of the bigger market teams have, that's what they have to do. And Tampa has done it as well as anybody.
Yeah.
So for the Marlins looking, you know, in a similar situation, saying, yeah, that's what we need to be.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Easier said than done, for
sure.
Oh,
absolutely. And I think you nailed it. You said a couple things absolutely in there. As the count runs 3-1 on Boehm. 1, young players. Try to get the young players to strike gold with them, and then when they get to the point where they're going to cost a lot of money, you figure out how to get some money for them.
Or you trade them away for new young players that you like. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ball inside, walked Alec Boehm. I'll put a runner on first base with 2 outs. Yeah, I think that's – I mean, I had to ask the question, but everything that you just said, I think, hit it right on the nose. Yep.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of remarkable how the Rays have been able to sustain that model for as long as they have, because you know, you can't make a whole lot of mistakes, right? Because if you make a major mistake, if you miss on a top pick, you know, you only get one of those.
That's right.
And it's hard to, but I you know, and I haven't studied the Rays, you know, depth over the years in terms of where they've drafted and where the guys have come up. But I bet you if you look, they're finding some diamonds in the rough.
Oh, 100%.
Deep in the draft, and also the international players as well.
Right. Boehm on first. Nick Castellanos is the hitter. It's a swing and a foul ball straight back. Count runs to 0-2 on Nick. Yeah, I always kind of thought of it with Tampa Bay too. Like, they were so smart on how they would draft, or they would make a trade and get 3 players in the trade, and then in their minds they're like, okay, we just need to get 1 out of the 3 to hit it, right? To really, and then they were happy with that. And a lot of work, and as a player, you have to accept your role when you're on a team like that. It might be an opener or whatever, as they call it. 0-2 pitch, line drive toward third, right at Jake Berger at third base. I don't even think he moved his feet for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they get 1 base runner, but can't do anything with it. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. Phillies are still down 4-0. Fourth inning, Castellanos lined to third. JT hit a hard ball to short, but nothing to show for it. So, still going to be Spencer Turnbull. He's going to come back out for his 2nd inning here in the top of the 5th inning. He's going to face 2-3-4 in the Marlins lineup. It's Jake Berger from the right side to lead off. Before we start here, they're going to hold things up a little bit as Jake Cave's going to have to go out and get an errant ball out there.
I don't know if they came out of the bullpen or if they came out of the crowd, but
went back in the crowd.
It sure did.
Yeah.
You see that collection of kids
running
around to get
Oh, yes.
To get that baseball, the elusive baseball.
Jake Berger from the right side steps in here. First pitch swing, and the ball is going to be a high fly ball down the right field line. Castellanos is going to give chase. I think it's going to hop out of play.
So we're doing this hybrid radio / television kind of webcast today, but you are getting a chance to see. By the way, kudos to our camera folks who are really keeping up with the action terrifically.
They can hold the camera so still.
Yeah.
No.
we'll teach you about TV.
Okay.
Yeah, radio guy, I'll tell you. But I love the uniforms that the Marlins are pulling off today. They've got that I guess they call it Miami blue, right?
Yeah.
They've got Miami blue Caliente red. Is that? And the midnight black is.
Where's the red? Is it on?
Well,
the outline?
they're not wearing any of the red today,
okay.
but in their other uniforms they do. But yeah, those are pretty sharp.
Oh, I think he went. He's going to call him. Yep. Said he swung. JT is going to go ahead and throw down to first base. Be the out, first out. Yeah, I like those uniforms. They're a cool uniform. Now the Phillies lost. They're not wearing the reds, right?
Yeah, they're done.
Can't wear the reds.
Yeah. They will be unveiling the City Connect jersey, I guess, at some point. I don't know if that can happen during the spring and that'll be one of the alternate jerseys this year.
Okay. Josh Bell will be the hitter. Had a double in the 1st inning. Grounded back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. First pitch outside for a ball. Yeah, my wife and I just moved out to Philly, and I had some memorabilia, but we're really just, it was time to kind of shed some stuff, right? Yeah. And so my kids came home for Christmas, and I have like the World Series jerseys that are like up on the wall, and And I had the Devil Rays inaugural season jersey up on the wall frame, a couple other. And I said, hey, if you guys want these, let me. And before I could finish, my boys were like, I want that, that. My daughter was that, and that. They all claimed these jerseys.
Well, that's cool, right?
It's really cool. I was like, all right, they're actually excited about it.
And you've checked the sites. They haven't sold them yet?
No, I have not checked the sites.
I might be able to make
That's
40
a great
bucks off
question.
of that.
Now I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Do I trust any of my kids here?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh,
I'm
it was
sure
so funny.
they would be thrilled to have that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course. Swing and a foul ball. Count runs 2-2 on Bell. But the funniest thing about it was, like, we broke open these frames and took the uniforms out, especially the 93 ones. And
Yep.
my sons put it on, and they're like, oh, it's so nice to have one that fits. Because the ones that I have been getting over the years are much bigger.
Well, that's what happens, right?
That's what happened. So true. 2-2 foul ball straight back by Bell. So, yeah, so those jerseys, I didn't, like, just give them away, but they've kind of been dispersed and that sort of thing. But
Yeah, you know, you make enough moves in your life. At some point, you say, you know what? Why am I carrying this
yeah, a little bit.
from here to there?
It was fun, though, because the World Series jerseys, I had the inaugural one for the Devil Rays, and another one was the Richie Ashburn. We had one with
wow.
Richie with the sleeve.
Very cool.
That uniform. Pitch is down low. Count's going to run 3-2. Pretty good at bat here by Josh Bell. We had a throwback uniform that I had, and it was pretty cool. My daughter had claimed that one, and I'm like, oh, interesting. And then I realized I had it, as I'm talking about my stuff here, but I apologize, but had the jersey with a photo of me swinging in the jersey. We only wore it one game.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
All right.
So
You got the picture to prove it.
yeah, a little ground ball, soft hit toward Bohm. He's going to take it on the run. Nice play. Nice job by Alec. Second out of the inning.
There's a little bit of evidence of what we saw last year, and that is the vast improvement of Alec Bohm defensively over there at third, right? And remember, you know, last season he spent a lot of time at third, but he also spent a lot of time at first.
Yeah,
bouncing back
unfortunately.
and forth. But he won't have to do that this year, obviously, with Bryce down there at first. But I think, and he has said it, that playing over at first, he believes, has helped him now over at third.
Really? He said that?
He talked about, you know, seeing different angles and being able to quickly adjust now to the way the balls come off the bats maybe a little bit differently. Obviously, third is the opposite of first, but yeah, he seemed to think it was a good experience for him. But,
Okay.
but I do think we're going to see even more
Yeah.
improvement now that he'll be there virtually full time.
Swing and a miss. Count runs 0-2 on Brian De La Cruz, 4-hitter for the Marlins. Yeah, I don't know. When you're an everyday guy in an everyday position, I just, you know, he's going to be at third. I'm excited for him to play a lot of third.
Yeah.
Oh, swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Spencer Turnbull. That might be it for him. 2 clean innings. Got himself another strikeout. That's 4 strikeouts for him in those 2 innings. Well done, Spencer. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies are still down 4-0. Merrifield, Cave, and Pache. It will be right-hander Aaron McCoggan. Aaron McCoggan. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, Darren.
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 Thank you. Thank you. It's a partnership, people.
That's right.
Yeah. He's going to face Whit Merrifield, who had a triple in his first at-bat.
And McCoggan, the last 2 seasons, a little bit of time in the big leagues with Seattle. He appeared in 2 games in 2021, 3 games in 2023. Just 27 years old.
Merrifield today getting the start at second base alongside Trey Turner. Of course, Bryson Stott is in on the split squad, so he's on the road.
Yeah, he's in Lakeland today.
Lakeland. So I saw Brandon Marsh today. Saw him twice. I saw him in the cage working, really getting some hit and feeling great. And I was out on the field and I saw him coming down, and count runs 3-0. And wanted, hey, I wanted to go say hi. So he came over and I said, how you doing, Marsh? He goes, oh, and he gave me a big hug. And I don't think he could have been any sweatier. It is so hot in the cage. I'm like, oh, thanks, Brandon. That was great. 3-0 pitch is a strike, 3-1.
Well, beats a poke in the eye.
Yeah, pizza. Now I asked him, I said, how you feel? He goes, I feel great, man. I said, what are you working on in spring? What's one thing? And he goes, I'm working on just staying tight, not trying to get out on my front foot too much and that sort of thing. And I said, all right, so I just want to clarify. It's going to be a ground ball. Nice play up the middle by McCoggan. It's going to be the first out of the inning, and he retires Whit Merrifield. But, yeah, he said he looked right at me, and I think he was being serious. He's like, look, God gave me this body, and I've got to work this body in a tight zone, so I'm not getting – I'm like, I love it. I love it. He was so funny. Yeah, he's so energetic.
I often say the sentence that God gave me this body. I say it with disdain in my voice.
Dude, it's okay. Lift your head up. You don't have to hang your head. It's not pretty good, Murph.
Why me?
Jake Cave swinging at the first pitch. 1 out. Phillies are still down 4-0, bottom of the 5th inning. Christian Pache is on deck.
That was a nice play by McCoggan. Talk about fielding your position if you're a pitcher, helping yourself. That's a base hit if he doesn't make that play.
Yeah, Brandon, it's good to see Brandon try. He's back. He's taking BP. I think it's a matter of time before you'll see him out there. But you got to remember, this guy on deck, Christian Pache's been kind of swinging the bat pretty well. They do have that. There's a rocket towards second base. Again, right at Brujan. I mean, that's the second one we've seen today, right at somebody. Castellanos did it his last at-bat. Just can't be too result-oriented when you're down here in spring training. The result, it's an out, but he hit the ball in the nose.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. You just have to be happy with the process, right? And the way things are working.
Now, in saying that, Jake Cave is trying to make this team, so there's a little bit of that. Christian Pache swinging first pitch foul. That's how it's supposed to be, and it is for many. Guys like Jake, guys like Christian Pache, it creeps in there. You can't help it.
You just have to hope, and I would believe this is the case, with most coaching staffs, that your manager and the other coaches are seeing what we're seeing, right? They're hitting rockets. Maybe they're don't have anything to show for it yet, but and I'm sure that's all being duly noted down there.
Two outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Christian Pache, 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Pretty good slider by McCoggan.
I was talking to Rob Thompson last night at the dinner, and we were just chatting about how spring has been going so far, and obviously he's pretty pleased. I'll pick up on that.
Why don't we come back with that? Yeah, we'll do it that way. Christian Pache strikes out on a couple of sliders. Nothing doing for the Phillies in the 5th inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th.
Lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. Let me give you the changes defensively right around the diamond. So William Simonite now in at first base. Rodolfo Castro is at second. Brian Rincon is over at short. Kendall Simmons, who we've seen a lot of, is at third. And Cam Gallagher now behind the plate. Griff McGarry on the mound for the Phils. Our first look at him this spring. And the first pitch to Jesus Sanchez. A little bit high and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Yeah, it's cool to get a chance to see Griff. A lot of folks in Philadelphia have been following him throughout the minor leagues as he gets that one over for a strike. It's 1-1.
Hard throwing righty, really good slider, working on a changeup. Such a great upside to this kid.
And he gets the outside corner there, so he's ahead of Jesus Sanchez, 1-2. Chance for McGarry to kind of showcase his skills in front of the Major League coaching staff. Misses there, a little bit high. That's a pretty good pitch, right?
Yeah. Well, it's always been about balls and strikes, right, for McGarry? I mean, it's, again, the process of trying to stay tight, as he calls it, not getting too loose and spread out. Sounds like a hitter.
2-2 pitch, and that's a called third strike. There you see some of the stuff. 96 on the outside corner for McGarry, and it's a first strikeout for him this afternoon. First out here in the sixth. Just to finish the defensive changes in the outfield for the Phillies. In lefts, Simone Muzziotti. In center, Scott Kingery and Cal Stevenson now in right field. So a complete turnover for Rob Thompson here in the sixth. Vidal Brujan is the batter for the Marlins. Takes that first pitch a little bit outside for a ball.
Now, what were we talking about right out of the break?
Well, I had talked to Rob Thompson last night at the dinner, and, you know, again, just generally talking as Brujan fouls that one out of play about, you know, how he thought spring has going at this point. And he said, you know, you look at the way we've lost, you know, they tied 2 games and they've lost 1 so far. And all 3 of those games, they had the lead, 2 of them, I think, with 2 outs in the ninth. And they lose the lead. He said, you know, we could be undefeated. Not that that matters all that much, but his point was, I'm really pleased at the way our guys, the guys that we expect to, you know, break from here and head to Philadelphia or even to the Lehigh Valley, the way those guys have played. And, you know, and there's another awkward swing by a Marlin and back-to-back strikeouts for Griff McGarry as Brujan goes down. And I think, you know, that's what you want if you're Rob Thompson. First and foremost, you want everyone to stay healthy.
Right.
And secondly, you want to see your guys, the guys that you know are going to be with you, playing well and kind of getting into the groove, and we're seeing that. And then I think the third thing is you want to see guys like Griff McGarry, guys that are the future of the organization and how they can play in situations like this. So far, so good for Griff McGarry right now as Christian Bethancourt swings through that one.
Now, this is McGarry's first appearance, right? Did you say that already?
Yep.
Okay.
No balls and 1 strike to Christian Bethancourt. The pitch. Breaking ball, a little high. 1-1. Yeah, you mentioned, you know, for so many young pitchers, it is about throwing strikes. And for Griff, that certainly is it for him. The stuff is there.
Yeah.
Which we know. So he's ahead of Christian Bethancourt now, 1-2. Looks in and gets the sign from Cam Gallagher, and the pitch. Where was that?
Good pitch.
I think we all thought that was over for a strike, but no. Brennan Miller says, I guess a little low maybe. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Christian Bethancourt. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball, 3-2 now. You got to challenge him here, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say yes, but I mean, I've seen enough times where guys are throwing sliders and so forth. His best pitch is his fastball. I would think they would go right at him.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him 96, and he gets Bethancourt chasing. So, if that's all we're going to see of Griff McGarry today, tip your cap. 3 strikeouts here in the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning, and it's 4-0 Marlins. That in just a second, but a new pitcher for them is the left-hander Devin Smeltzer. And he will face Kyle Schwarber.
Smeltzer, fastball, changeup, curveball, and sweeper.
And first pitch, well, second pitch is a little bit outside for a ball.
And not a hard thrower. I mean, you're looking 89, 90 miles an hour will be his fastball.
Smeltzer looks in, gets the sign, the windup, and the pitch. Misses outside. Does that count right? 3-0?
No, it's 2-0.
Yeah, it's 2-0. Yeah.
I was wondering what you're looking at. I'm like, you're looking at an eagle or something? Or?
And the pitch to Schwarber, swings through that one. And we believe the count is 2-1. Smeltzer working from the stretch, sets at the belt and the kick. And then he's down low, and he does walk him well. I guess the count was right. So he walks him. Kyle Schwarber is a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the sixth. And that'll bring up Scott Kingery for his first at-bat this afternoon. And David Dahl now checks into the game. He's the pinch runner down at first, so Kyle Schwarber's day is done as well. So Dahl will get his leadoff first, and Kingery steps in from the right side facing Smeltzer. First pitch is a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, with Kyle, Schwarber, it's going to be interesting this year. I know there's been a lot of talk about swinging with 2 strikes. And I think that came up even last year.
0-1 pitch, swung on and hit in the air deep to left center field. You can forget about that one. That one's not coming back up on the berm. A 2-run shot for Scott Kingery. It's his second home run of the spring. And it cuts the lead in half. It's 4-2.
I told you.
You told me what?
I gave back the play-by-play, and then soon enough, it's a home run right out of the gate.
Well, what can I tell you?
Ball was blasted.
That
That's
was.
okay, man. I don't care. If that's what it takes to get these guys rolling.
Yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, Scott, he's trying to find that swing that he had years ago. He got into a little bit of a lift mode. Trying to get that line drive swing and let the home runs take care of themselves.
Well, Cam Gallagher will be the batter now, and the first pitch to Gallagher is over for a strike. Yeah, Kingery for the second time this spring going deep. Smeltzer, the pitch, and swings through that. It's 0-2 quickly to Cam Gallagher.
But yeah, back to Kyle Schwarber, just to kind of put a cap on that. There was a stat out there I found remarkable. With two strike counts, Kyle hit 104 in 2 strike counts on the season.
And that one swung on, and that one is hit well. Left center field on the run, and one hops off the wall. Gallagher makes the turn at first, and he'll slide into second with a double. So 3 straight base runners against Devin Smeltzer here in the 6th inning. Smeltzer, of course, a local kid from Voorhees, New Jersey. Went to Bishop Eustis. Actually ran into him in Key West this offseason. Got a chance to talk to him for a couple minutes. Cal Stevenson is the batter.
How does it, you recognize him?
Honestly, he was with his mom and dad and his fiance, and his mom and dad obviously are Philadelphia.
They
resident.
recognized
you. They said, "Hey, Murph," and I stopped and we got to talking. They said, "Oh, our son pitches for the Marlins," and that pitch is over for a strike. And he wasn't there at the moment, and they said he's down the street. He'll be coming. And they said Devin Smeltzer. And we saw Devin last year at the ballpark in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And so, I knew who he was, and he came up, and we got a chance to chat a little bit. 2 pitches swung on and fouled back.
I know it seems like in my voice I might sound surprised, but I am not surprised because I can't tell you, people that are listening and watching, how many times, whether it's to or from the park, Murphy, And then they give me the camera. Will you take a picture of me and Mr. Murphy?
0-2 pitch.
Sure.
You know I set those people up along the way, right?
There's no way. Even the other day over at Dunedin, we were leaving. It's Greg Murphy. I love it.
The count is 1-2 to Cal Stevenson. Runner on second. Nobody out. And the pitch. That one's down in the dirt as well. Nice stop by the catcher, Will Banfield, who's behind the plate now. Get you those defensive changes that I promised you for the Marlins, at least the infield. They've also pretty much flip-flopped their entire roster. Welcome to the bottom of the sixth. That one is swung on and hit well. Right field, but it looks like they're going to have a beat on it right at the edge of the track. Runner will tag, and Gallagher gets to third. So Stevenson put a charge in that one, but that's the first out here in the sixth. So let me run around the infield real quick. Troy Johnson is now at first for the Marlins. It's Jacob Amaya at second, Jose Devers at short, and Jacob Berry at third. I mentioned Will Banfield behind the plate. We'll get you the outfield changes as soon as we can. Gallagher gets his lead off third, and that pitch to Rodolfo Castro is a little bit outside for a ball. One ball and no strikes to Castro. And the pitch, that one is at the feet. He had to shuffle out of the way of that. 2-0.
I thought I'd give you a little update over in Lakeland.
Yeah.
Detroit's up 4-1, bottom of the seventh inning. Detroit put a 3 spot up in the bottom of the sixth inning. A lot of the starters are out over there, but how about this? Doubles, 3 doubles for the Phillies. Garcia, Stott, and Clemens all had a double.
Okay. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss.
Ranger threw 3 innings. Good for him. Gave up a hit, had a couple of strikeouts. Looks like he finished with 38 pitches on the day with 26 strikes. Good for him.
Yeah, that's
loading up the zone.
Great to see.
Yep.
You know, Ranger missed most of spring training, all of spring training last year. He had headed off to the World Baseball Classic, then got hurt, so we didn't see him down here in Clearwater. 3 balls and 1 strike to Rodolfo Castro with Cam Gallagher over at third base. 1 out. The pitch. Swung on and hit on the ground to third. Berry is up with it. He'll hold the runner, and nice pick over there by Troy Johnston for the second out. And Gallagher can't go anywhere. So Devin Smeltzer gets the out he needed there, and that'll bring up Simone Muzziotti.
I think in the middle of a season, maybe a little different. This is runner based on third with 1 out. They did not send him. Dusty held Gallagher. Gallagher is he's just slow. Okay, it's the right call there.
Muzziotti steps in, and that one is in the dirt. Another nice stop by the backstop, Banfield.
So when you ran into Smeltzer, did he have the huge beard?
He did. Yeah, he did.
And this was where? In the Keys?
Yeah, we were down in Key West.
Was it like 100?
No, it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
1-0 pitch, swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. Long run for the left fielder, and that's going to fall in for a hit. No man's land. And Muzziotti will take it. It's a base hit for him and an RBI, and the Phils cut in the lead a little bit more. It's 4-3. You don't have to hit it hard sometimes, Doc.
Trust me, I know.
That's Victor Mesa Jr. out there in left field, by the way, who eventually chased that one down. And now a conversation at the mound. Did he make the move to the pen already? Is that going to be the end for?
That's a good question. I think
Devin
it's probably
Smeltzer. I think he did, yeah. And he did indeed. So Skip Schumacher takes the ball from Smeltzer. Not the day that he was hoping in front of the fans here in Philadelphia, but he'll live to fight another day. We got a quick break. We'll take a timeout. Pitching change on the way. We'll have those details coming up right after the break. Phillies have put a couple of runs across here in the 6th inning. First to face Arias will be William Simonite. Runner on first, 2 outs, and the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Simonite, big fella, right-handed hitter. Arias checks the runner at first, and now he's going to throw over. Chase Simone Muzziotti back. One ball and no strikes to Simonite. Muzziotti with a good lead over there at first. See if he's going to run. No. And that one is a line drive foul over the head of Dusty Wathan down there in the third base coach's box. Three runs across here in the 6th inning. Phillies have cut the Marlins lead down to 1.
So William Simonite here hitting from the right side. We saw him yesterday in Toronto and hit a couple of balls hard, but just is got the, I mean, he is hooking balls so far past the third base coach.
He swings through that one. It's 1-2 now to Simonite. And you know, I don't know. What does that mean if you're a hitter?
Pull heavy.
Yeah.
Right.
So what does he need to do? Just let it get
so
a little deeper?
It's easier to send done, right? So trying to get it deeper and trying to change that sight line to hit toward the second baseman.
And the pitch is in the dirt. Good take, 2-2.
So, you know, so if it was the right side and you get pull heavy, you think to yourself, all right, my front shoulder, I want it to point toward the second base or between second base and the second baseman. And everything and your mindset and everything is that's where you're trying to hit it. If it's inside, you'll pull it naturally.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner's off, and that one is popped up to the right side. The right fielder for the Marlins camps under it and makes the catch for the final out. But not before the Phillies able to put 3 runs on the board. We will head to the top of the 7th inning. It's 4-3 Miami.
Collectibles and more. Gear up with your Phillies at MLBshop.com.
New pitcher for the Phillies is Dylan Covey, who is making his 3rd appearance this spring. He's pitched an inning in the 2 previous. He's allowed 3 hits total, 2 runs. Covey, of course, who joined the Phils midway through the season last year, takes the first pitch. Tristan Gray is a little bit high and outside for a ball. How's that scorecard looking at yours?
Well, it was good through 5. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there, but yeah, it's going to go sideways.
2-0 now to Tristan Gray. Covey, wind up in the pitch. That's a little bit high for a ball, so quickly 3-0 now to the designated hitter for the Marlins. 0 for 2 today is Gray. .30 pitch, and he misses there, so he walks him on 4 pitches. Not the way that Dylan is hoping to start this one.
It's kind of what we were talking about the other day. We saw Dylan come in where sometimes you kind of hold your breath. So he comes in here, granted he's trying to, and he's going to get a visit here from Rob Thompson. He's going to head on out there, and oh boy.
Yeah, and one of our trainers is going out as well. Did you see something?
I saw nothing.
Well, apparently Rob saw something, so we'll hold our breath here. Hopefully that doesn't look like Covey's.
Now, who knows, right? So he may have been dealing with, like, here's an example. I have no idea. So
right.
Maybe there's a blister.
Right.
Don't know. How's it feeling? Maybe there's something already. Let me try. Now, on the flip side, I remember playing with a pitcher, Mike Grace. You remember that big boy? He could throw hard in spring training just like this, and I'm playing short. And he threw a couple of pitches, and when he walked back, I could see him shaking his arm. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't look normal. And pitchers will not pull themselves out. It's rare. They're just like, I don't want to come out, right? So I ran out to the mound and said something to Mike. He's like, man, I'm glad you came out here. Something's not right.
Yeah.
So it can be, I mean, they spend so much time together, the coaching staff. They see everything, and who knows what they saw, but that's a good visit.
Okay, so Dylan Covey has convinced them that all is well. Jonathan Davis will be the batter. Covey checks the runner at first. And that first pitch is a little bit high for a ball, 1-0.
By the way, with Mike Grace, he had torn something. He felt it. Yeah, so safe than sorry, right?
For sure. Covey looks over his left shoulder and checks the runner. And the 1-0 pitch, the runner is off and going. The throw from Simonite, now they're going to get him in a rundown. Oh, but the ball slips through, and that's going to allow Gray to get back to first.
I think there's a missed sign there. The sign, my guess, is a hit and run. And Davis either missed it.
Yeah, a little bit of a break, though, because Castro couldn't handle the low throw from Simonite, so Gray able to scamper back. If not, I think they would have had him dead to rights at first. Yeah. Well, 2 balls and no strikes to Jonathan Davis. And the pitch, and it's inside, 3-0. So 7 pitches from Dylan Covey, 7 out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
.30 pitch. Oh, and it hit him. Hit him right between the numbers in the back. Certainly not intentional, but that's the second time that Davis has been hit today. And he's down on one knee. He'll get a visit from the trainer out of the Marlins dugout. He's not happy. So Dylan Covey needs to figure this out. We have not seen this out of Dylan since he's been in a Phillies uniform.
Right. Has he thrown a strike?
No.
He's kind of shaking his arm a little bit. Maybe he's just tight. Maybe it's tight. Oh, they're gonna.
Yeah, pinch runner in for Davis down there at first. It was probably his time to come out of the game anyway. It's number 86. That's Javier Sanoa. So runners at first and second, and Victor Mesa Jr. The left fielder now is in to swing the bat, takes the first pitch over for a strike. A little cheer from the Phillies fans.
Yeah.
So 0-1 to Victor Mesa Jr. Yeah, 1 pitch. That one misses. It's 1-1.
This is where Dylan, so you hold your breath, can't find the strike zone. He's trying to find it. He battles, gets 2 guys on. Now what he's been done in the past anyways, here he throws a double play ball.
Right.
I mean, it's textbook for him.
And 1-1 pitch, and that one just missed. It was close. 2-1. The count is 2-1 to Victor Mesa Jr. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. And the pitch outside for a ball, 3-1. So how long do you stick with a guy in spring that's really scuffling?
Well, I mean, you could have said the same about Aaron
Sure.
early in the game, right? It's as long as physically he's fine.
And that one misses as well, a little bit outside as well. So he walks in. The bases are now loaded.
Not very long.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah.
A walk, a hit by pitch, and a walk, and that's going to, I think, end the day for Dylan Covey as Rob Thompson walks out. Oh, frustrating afternoon, but Covey will get another opportunity in the next couple of days. Hopefully fare a little bit better. But we'll have another pitching change here at Baycare Ballpark. Step away. We'll be back right after this. Well, into a pickle. Bases are loaded, and Troy Johnston is the batter for the Marlins. Marlins have a 4-3 lead and looking for more here in the seventh. First pitch to Johnston is swung on and hit in the air, left center field, and Muzziotti is over to make the catch, but that'll be deep enough to score the runner. Throw comes into third, not in time, so now runners at the corners, but one out.
Wow, gutsy play there at second base. I think that's Sanoa that decides to tag with the fly ball to left center. Again, he's just reading who catches that. The ball's caught by the center fielder. Kingery probably not going to go because the momentum of the center fielder is going toward third. Muzziotti, on the other hand, left field, his momentum's going towards center. So it's a pretty good read by the base runner.
Well, nice job indeed. And they get the run home, so that makes it 5-3 now. And Jacob Amaya, the second baseman for the Marlins, is the batter. Well, now a double play could get the Phils out of this without any further damage. Runners are on the corners, first and third. And the 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Took something off of that 80-mile-an-hour changeup, maybe? He's a big boy, 6'6", 240.
That's big.
Yeah, 25 years old, and he's got a lot coming at you.
1-1 pitch. And that's a chopper. That's going to be a tough play for everybody. The shortstop charges and over to first in time to make the play. Nice play by Brian Rincon. A run will score. And the other runner moves up to second. But they get the second out. And I didn't know that anyone was going to get that. So nice job by Rincon.
Yeah. And this ball takes, you see on the replay here, a little bit of a backhand, how he has to get it. That's all because of the spin. He's coming straight in, then it spins a little bit. Nice adjustment.
So Will Banfield now the batter for the Marlins. 2 outs, runner on second, and the first pitch, swing and a miss. The Phils got to within 1 in the bottom of the 6th, but now have allowed 2 here in the top of the 7th. 6-3, another big cut, no contact. And it's quickly 0-2 to Will Banfield. Garnett looks in, shakes off Simonite, gets the pitch he wants, and the 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Simonite.
91, that's his number, 91. I used to remember having the highest number at 64.
Okay. Oh, well, they're all 90s
oh,
now.
Oh, baby.
We got pretty much the entire 90s
yes.
taken care of.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch, the runner on the move, and that one is hit on the ground to Rincon. It's short. He's up with it and fires across in time for the out. So that'll do it for the Marlins, but they do put 2 runs across in the 7th, and we'll head to the bottom half of the inning at 6-3.
Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Phillies.
Well, Devin Smeltzer's back out there on the mound for the Marlins. So they'll get him a couple of more pitches, and Brian Rincon will be the one to face him here in the bottom of the 7th. Phil's trailed by 3. And first pitch to Rincon, a little bit low for a ball, 1-0.
Brian, shortstop, taking over out there for Turner, had a couple of great plays last inning. Tell you what, good defense will get you noticed by this crew. If you can catch the ball.
Well, he can swing the bat, too. He hits that one in the air to right field. Going back on it is Alderman at the track. He reaches up and makes the catch. So Rincon gave it a ride, but that's the first out here in the 7th.
We've talked a lot about spring training and have tried to give some numbers and this and that. The other thing that I remember back in spring training, not to get off the rails here, is for me.
Oh, we're off the rails. Don't worry about that.
There we go. One of the other things about spring training that can be tough, especially for a young guy, and I was a young guy at the time, is how to control your arm. What I mean by that is some years I would come in and my arm felt great. Now, Boa, Vukovic, these guys love to work, so they ingrained that in me, and I loved it. Look out.
Kendall Simmons loses the bat. It hits the net, the protective net in front of Rob Thompson. Well, you don't want to hit your manager.
Well, it's another way to make an impression.
Well, that's true.
But, yeah, so would be to control the soreness. I love to work and throw a lot. Some years I'd come in and I would work really hard at the beginning of camp, 3, 4 first days, and my elbow would be on fire. And then I'd be like, I got to shut it down for a couple of days, right? Other years you'd come in and you'd make yourself kind of take it easy. Don't throw as hard for a few weeks and go slow and try to work. That process, as I'm saying this, people are like, what's the big deal about that? It's super hard when you're trying to make a team to come in and understand that you got to give your body a little bit of time. So you look at these guys. I mean, I was trying to impress, like Rincon or whoever. So you come out, and you're just firing across. You're doing ground balls every morning, and you're throwing. Before you know it, you can't play for 5 days. That's no way to impress somebody. And it's tough, and that's where spring training. Now there's a lot more players.
Sure. 2-2 pitch, and that is in and out of the glove.
Foul ball. That's perfect.
Banfield, yep.
So as I got older, and you become more of a veteran guy, and you know that you're going to be an everyday player. It's not that you're not trying as hard, but you start to learn how to pace yourself better. And I think they do a really good job nowadays of kind of controlling some of that.
Kendall Simmons swings through that one, and that's the second out here in the 7th. Yeah, the balance between trying to impress and trying to open some eyes and get people talking about you and pushing yourself too far. It's a fine line, I would imagine.
I mean, what would you do? You're out there working with Boa every morning. I mean, I'm not criticizing. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to work.
You're gonna work your tail off, right?
Is that as hard as you can throw, Stalker?
Thanks, Bo. David Dahl is the batter for the Phils. He came in as a pinch runner. First at bat for him, and count is 0-1. And he lifts that one down the left field line, and the left fielder, Mesa Jr., is there. He loses his cap, but he makes the catch, and that's the final out. So Devin Smeltzer came back in and kind of redeemed himself. Pitched well there for the Marlins in the 7th. We will head to the top of the 8th inning. It's still 6-3, Miami. For the Phils, right-hander, appearing in his 3rd outing this spring. An inning against Toronto, an inning against Minnesota the other day down in Fort Myers. He'll face Kemp Alderman to lead it off here for the Marlins. He swings through that pitch. And it's 0-1 to Alderman. Ruiz works from the stretch, and he gets Alderman to swing through that one as well. So quickly 0-2 now. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss.
Okay.
You got him. There you go. Alderman swung through all 3 of those, and Ruiz will take it. First strikeout for him, and that's the first out here in the 8th. And that'll bring up Jacob Berry.
We chit-chatted a little earlier about this Marlins team, how they hit a lot of singles, and that was kind of their MO last year, station to station. The other thing, one thing that they we're really good at, the best in the league, are these one-run games. Their winning percentage was .7, was 702 winning percentage in one-run games.
Line drive in the left center field, and that's going to be in for a hit. And Muzziotti able to cut it off, but the throw coming in late to second, so that'll be a double for Jacob Berry. Nice play by Muzziotti. He did everything he could, and some good base running right there by Berry out of the box.
Yeah, so these one-run games were so huge for them. You go, well, how did that happen? Well, the other thing that they were really good at was from the 7th inning on, they led Major League Baseball in batting average at 267.
Guy like Luis Ariz helps that, right?
Well, clearly.
Yeah. Devers, Jose Devers is the left-handed hitter. Swings through that first pitch. So nothing but strikes so far from Jose Ruiz.
Yeah, so you look at these numbers, are kind of weird, right? Great batting average after the 7th. They're great at one-run games, and they're just what was the issue? Well, how about this? They only 32% of their hits went for extra base hits. Right? That's the singles we're talking about. They were the lowest scoring team in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's hard to be consistent and score a lot of runs when you're doing it that way. You do need the power. That one is hit on the ground to Simmons at second. He's up with it. Over to Simon Knight at first. 2 outs.
I know those are a lot of numbers. You start throwing out these percentages and numbers, but for me, it's like, okay, it tells you a lot about your team, for me. All right, so how am I going to play defensively? How am I going to pitch them? Well, they're not a team I got to worry about these extra base hits. I can play a little different in the outfield. All those things come into play.
Bennett Hostetler, the pinch hitter for the Marlins. First pitch swinging. Gets it on the ground to Racone at short. Fires over to first. And he gets the out. Nice job by Jose Ruiz. Pitches around the double. And he gets the Marlins here in the 8th. We'll go to the bottom half of the inning. They'll still trail it 6-3. Sure, 6'4", 225 pounds. Drafted out of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Pretty good program.
Yeah,
North
they
Carolina. A lot of good pitchers out of that school. Tough conference.
Pitched a little bit with Houston last year. Got into 10 games with them. He's 1-0, 2.25 ERA. Scott Kingery, who homered in his only at-bat, the first to face him. Takes the first pitch a little bit low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Lineup in the 1-0 pitch.
Oh,
out straight back. Yeah, that's a pretty good cut.
Yeah, good swing by Scott. There's a lot of baseball in Scott. There's a lot of baseball left. I know he didn't quite perform how he wanted to. Like where his swing is at. Of course, I say that every spring with Scott.
That one's in the dirt. 2-1 to Scott. Yeah, I think you're right, though. I mean, he was always a good ball player, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was no mistaking that. Different circumstances, injuries, what have you, kind of derailed things for him.
I just don't think he's done. I don't. It's just like
I hope
said.
you're right, to be
Yeah,
honest.
there's just a lot of baseball in him. Whether it's here in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of baseball in him. Yeah, I remember watching him when he was in college. He was doing a lot of work back then, and saw him at second base exclusively. And
3-1 pitch, and it's hit on the ground past Dusty Wathan. So the count is 3-2 now to Scott Kingery. Yeah, I mean, I remember when he was in the minor leagues with the Phils and just turning heads everywhere he went defensively. They were
right.
They were talking Gold Glove kind of caliber defense at second base. 3-2 pitch, on the inside and low for a ball. He walks him. So Kingery is a leadoff base runner here in the 8th, and Cam Gallagher will be the batter. Gallagher, who doubled in his last at bat, steps in from the right side, takes the first pitch over for a strike. Hasn't been a whole lot for the Phils fans here at Baycare Ballpark to cheer about today, but not over yet. That one is swung on and hit down the left field line. It's hit well, fair or foul, and that's fair, and it's gone. Into the tiki bar in left field, and there's something to cheer about. A 2-run shot for Cam Gallagher, and that lead is cut to 1 once again. Right on cue, Mr. Gallagher.
You have an idea with Cam Gallagher. I mean, he's not a home run guy, right? So let's see. He's got 7 years of service, and he has 7 home runs.
Okay.
Right? I mean, he picks his spots. Well, that's a pretty good spot.
That was a pretty good spot.
Press a little bit. Yeah.
So Cal Stevenson now the batter, left-handed hitter, and first pitch to Stevenson. High and inside for a ball, 1-0. 6-5 now here in the 8th. And that one's down low to Stevenson, so 2-0. Manuel steps off the back of the mound, collects himself for a moment. Now he's ready to go. 2 balls and no strikes, and it's over for a strike. It's 2-1.
You're back here tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You have the day off, I guess. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball over.
I do.
At the letters. You do, yeah. So tomorrow I'll be doing radio with Larry Anderson. And Scott Fransky is going to be back. He'll be on the TV side with Ben Davis.
Yep. Tom McCarthy, who popped in the booth earlier today and decided to completely mess up my hair.
Yep. That's Tom.
Yep.
You probably heard him on the mic because that's Tom.
That's Tom.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Stevenson. And that's a called third strike. Good pitch by Emmanuel on the outside corner. And that's the first out here in the 8th. So that'll bring up Rodolfo Castro. Yeah, Tom is a 12-year-old, as I like to say all
Wow,
the time.
12. I was thinking like 5. I mean, 12.
He has a good sense of humor, that's for sure. And that pitch hits Castro on the back foot.
He doesn't want to go.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go either, but rules are rules, my friend.
Yep.
So he'll take his base down there at first. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the way to do it, right?
What, on the foot?
Well, that kind of hit like the side. It was a one-hopper. Yeah, that way.
Have you?
Have I ever been? Don't ask me these questions.
I can't wait. We're going to get you in that pen. I think you should just take one.
So you're saying get in there and we're going to hit you and you know
Yes.
it's coming. Okay.
Yeah, but
I'll
and
sign
just
up for
take it and see what it feels like, and then you will know.
that. Simone Muzziotti takes the first pitch over for a strike. That's like when someone says, "Here, smell this. It smells awful."
Right.
Why would I do that?
That's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
No balls and 1 strike to Muzziotti, and the pitch over for a strike. It's 0-2. Simone did not like that call. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, easy for me to say that's a good way to get. All right, so what is a good way? If you're going to get hit, what's it, where do you want it? The
Where do you
backside?
want to take it? Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
0-2 pitch.
You want it
outside.
to just hit the sleeve.
Well, okay.
Under
But that kind of was what that just
the
happened.
top of the foot.
No, it didn't hit the. It was like a skip and hit the side of his foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It hit the dirt first.
Well, then let's try that. We'll get you in the pen.
I don't trust you.
I'll
1-2
bounce
pitch.
one.
I don't trust you at all.
I would not either. Not with that.
Count is 1-2 to Muzziotti.
You just don't. The worst thing is to raise your hands. A lot of times players will do that. They'll take the bat and go straight up, and that just exposes the ribs, and that's the one that's trouble.
1-2 pitch, swung on and hit in the hole into right field for a base hit. Castro will round second and head on over to third. Nice piece of hitting by Simone Muzziotti. And the Phillies have runners on the corners with 1 out here in the 8th. Yeah, now a fly ball will tie this game. 3-run home run would put the Phils in the lead.
Now you're talking. Simonite Williams just needs to figure out a way to stay up the middle. I do think even though he popped up to right field his last at bat with 2 strikes, I think he was trying to do that, and that's okay. Stay there. Stay up the middle. Stay the other way.
First pitch to Simonite. Swing and a miss. Runners take their leads off first and third. And the 0-1 pitch, it's down low for a ball. It's 1-1 to Williams Simonite with Brian Rincon waiting on deck. The pitch, and that one lays off a little bit high for a ball, 2-1. Some of the Philly faithful cheering Williams Simonite on, hoping that he can deliver here. He fouls that one back, so the count goes 2-2 now to Simonite. Two balls and 2 strikes. Manuel comes set. And the pitch. And a called third strike on the inside corner. And Simonite is a strikeout victim. That's the second out here in the 8th.
That's a pretty good job of pitching right there. Kind of stayed away, and then came back inside. Froze him.
So Brian Rincon will be the batter, but he is not going to face Kent Emanuel as Skip Schumacher is out to make a pitching change here. And we'll get you those details when we come back, so stay with us. Marlins, he comes in with runners at first and third for the Phillies, and Brian Rincon, the left-handed hitter, at the plate. 6-5 Marlins. And the first pitch to Rincon is over for a strike.
A big old slinger from the right side. Got that three-quarter arm action.
The 0-1 pitch. And that one is a little bit high, maybe a little bit outside for a ball.
That is not high.
Yeah.
I guess outside.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, slinger's right. That's the exact way I would describe
Slinger.
the way he's throwing that ball. Yep. Checks the runners. The 1-1 pitch swung on, and that one's fouled back over our heads. And the count is 1-2 now to Brian Rincon.
I mean, that is when he gets that whip, I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's like this easy release, and it's 96, 97 on the gun. And that's a lot of times what we find, as a hitter when you're facing someone who slings. Now, I'll tell you from the left side of the plate, I didn't mind facing those guys. I got a better look than someone who short arms it.
1-2 pitch, fouled away. Yeah, I would imagine for Rincon, seeing him from the left side is a little bit easier.
Well, yeah, and and the ball comes out. It's out away from the body. I liked that personally. Not everybody does, but I did. Just think it's a little easier to see.
Comes set, and the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. So Alvarado comes in and gets the job done. The Phils can't get any more. They do put 2 on the board in the bottom of the 8th, but they'll head to the 9th inning trailing by 1. Orion once already this spring, pitched a couple days ago in Fort Myers against the Twins, pitched well, 1 inning of work, he had a strikeout, no hits allowed.
Murph, I got an update for you. I got a scoring update, and it's not a good one. Phillies over in Lakeland took a hit today, 4-2. 4-2. They got 1 in the 9th, tried to make a little comeback, but couldn't seal the deal.
But the good news was the Ranger Suarez got the start.
And he was great.
Seemingly pitched well. Yeah, that's the important thing there. Kirkering's first pitch to Javier Sanoa is a little bit low for a ball, 1-0. Kirkering really captured the imagination of Phillies fans last year when he was called up very late in the season. 1-0 pitch, out inside for a ball, it's 2-0. His stuff is electric.
Right.
And he had some success in the regular season. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the postseason as a young player, but a lot of high hopes for this young man. That one is hit on the ground to the shortstop, Rincon. He's been busy over there. Fires over to first. Simon picks it out of the dirt. That's the first out. 6-3 goes the put out.
I think it can be easy to forget that Kirkering is still super young.
Yep.
Very little experience. So it's easy to pencil him in on this team. He's in that spot. Yes, I get it. But at the same time, you got to be somewhat sensitive to the fact that he is so young with such little experience.
Victor Mesa Jr., the batter. That one's on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1.
Even like when he came in, he's pitching here, and it's, you know, ninth inning. I'm curious as to why wait so late. Maybe they want him in the back end somewhere, so they're thinking let's get him some time.
Get him the feel of coming in at this point in the game.
Right. I mean, he's facing the minor league guys,
right,
as opposed to the big league guys.
1-1 pitch. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Fastball slider, right?
Yep.
He'll feature the slider more often than not. That's a good one.
They're trying. I think they're trying to get him more into a little bit more fastballs this year. We'll see.
1-2 pitch. Yeah, that one's inside. It's not as though he doesn't have the stuff. I mean, he's got an arm. He can throw that fastball and be competitive with it for sure. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Victor Mesa Jr. And the pitch. Yeah, it's a bit high for a ball. 3-2. 97 on the gun there. Looks in, gets the sign from Cam Gallagher in the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So he gets him chasing, and that's the first strikeout for Orion Kirkering here in the ninth. Second out in the inning.
Just as I get done talking about they're going to try more fastballs, it's a 3-2 slider to get him.
True enough.
Well, just get out, young man. Just get out.
Any way you can.
Yeah.
Troy Johnston is the batter for the Marlins. And first pitch from Kirkering is fouled into the Marlins dugout. Look out.
Yeah.
It's like the sun's trying to fight its way out. Not completely winning that battle, but it's trying.
It's not going to rain this weekend, is it?
I do not know the answer to that. I haven't looked.
Weatherman Greg.
Yes. No. 0-1 pitch. That one skips to the. You know, I go day by day down here in Florida.
Is that? I was going to say, like, in that you're like, well, I don't know, Kevin. It never rains down at the beach where I am.
That's true. Hey, you should try it sometime. Come on down. 1 ball and 1 strike to Troy Johnston. And the pitch. That's over for a strike. So he's ahead of Johnston, 1-2. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Phillies trail by 1. Look at their last licks. Kirkering gets the sign from Gallagher, comes set, and now time is called. Was that a
pitch
violation?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was. The count is now 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and lined 1 hopper to the shortstop Rincon. He plants and fires, and again, nice pick out by William Simonite over at first. And Johnston comes up a little lame, running down to first base. Hopefully he's okay, but a nice play by Rincon to Simonite for the final out here in the ninth. Nice job by Orion Kirkering as well. We will head to the bottom of the ninth. The Phils trail it by 1. trail by 1. And Kendall Simmons will lead it off with the Phils. Try to get something going here. Phils have lost a couple of games in the bottom of the 9th inning. They haven't won one yet, so why not, right?
Yeah.
Why not us, as Sarge would say.
No.
He would. He'd say that a lot.
That's right.
Yeah. First pitch to Kendall Simmons is inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Oh, sorry, that's a strike too. I don't know. Maybe it's just getting long. That was a really good pitch.
1 ball and no strikes. The windup and the pitch. Yeah, it looked like the exact same spot, and they called it a strike there. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We have a little bit of a funky angle where we are.
Yeah,
so it's hard to tell exactly.
But we have
a monitor
today.
Yeah, well, you do.
Yeah.
1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch hit on the ground up the middle. The shortstop cuts it off and over to first. Nice play by the shortstop, Jose Devers. And it's the first out.
Yeah, really good play. If Devers doesn't cut this ball off up the middle, second baseman's going to have a tough time making that stop and throw play back across his body to get him. Nice play.
So David Dahl will be the batter.
What, have I been blocking the TV all day?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. You know that. First pitch to Dahl's outside for a ball, 1-0. Yeah, there you go.
Joe has been itching to get more of that TV.
Wind up in the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And that's fouled straight back off the catcher. And the count goes 1-2 to David Dahl. As we mentioned, Phil's back in action here tomorrow against the Minnesota Twins. Game will be on TV and on radio tomorrow. Hope you'll join us. 1-2 pitch. And that one's fouled over by the Marlins dugout. So David Dahl stays alive. The count remains 1-2. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Phils need a run to tie this thing up. And the pitch. Outside, 2-2.
Dahl, first-round pick back in 2012 out of high school. Always been known as kind of a guy with 5-tool potential. Hasn't quite got there. Solid gap power.
And pitch just missed. 3-2. Good take.
One thing about him with his stance from the left side, he's a very balanced hitter. Even with 2 strikes, you don't see him lunging. Needs to catch one.
Alvarado gets the sign he likes, and the 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled out of play. That's a good one to hit.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting his cuts. He's getting his swings.
Count stays 3-2 to David Dahl. And the pitch. Another good cut. Fouled straight back. Three balls and 2 strikes. Pitch swung on, and that one is hit in the air. Left center field. Going back and looking up. And that ball is gone. There you go. David Dahl ties it up. An opposite field shot, and that makes it 6-6. Phillies will take it.
Good for him. I mean, he was taking good swings. He was patient. He kept working and working and working. He finally got into a little bit of his favor. And this ball is right down the middle. He delivers it the opposite field. Tremendous power. The wind is still blowing that way. I don't want to say, I mean, he got it pretty deep. Maybe would have gone either way, but certainly didn't hurt to have the wind helping.
So the Phils will get out of here with at least a tie, but why not a win? Scott Kingery, who already homered in this game, steps to the plate, takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Think he can do it again?
Oh, I think he can. He needs a hitter's count.
1-0 pitch, and he hits that one on the ground to short. Devers with the backhand. Long throw to first, and they can't handle it. And Kingery is going to be safe down there at first. Tough play for Devers in the hole, but we'll see how they score it. Either way, it'll be a base runner for the Phils. And Cam Gallagher will be the batter. Gallagher's had a good afternoon, a double and a home run for him in his 2 at-bats. They give Scott a hit there? No,
I
I
don't know.
think they gave him an error.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gallagher steps in and he sees the first pitch over for a strike. It's 0-1. 1 out. All tied up at 6 here in the 9th. The 0-1 pitch. That's over for a strike as well. So 0-2 now to Cam Gallagher. Cal Stevenson waiting on deck.
He's going to throw another slider away here, I would think. Try to get him reaching.
The 0-2 pitch. That was inside for a ball. 1-2.
Catcher set up outside for the slider, and it backed up on him.
Yeah, he just missed the spot completely there.
Miss again. Right into the wheelhouse.
Alvarado comes set. And the 1-2 pitch. Inside again. Now with the fastball that time, and he misses his spot. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Kingery gets his lead off first. A 2-2 pitch. There goes Kingery. And no throw as the pitch was one hopped to the plate, and no chance for the catcher there. No chance for Banfield to make a throw. So Kingery has moved into scoring position, and the count is full to Cam Gallagher. Three-two pitch. Swung on and fouled. Ooh, right past our cameraman down there. Third base dugout. Look out. So we'll do it again. Alvarado looks in and gets the sign from Banfield. Kingery gets the lead off second. Swung on and hit deep into center field, but Jonathan Davis has a beat on it. Now over to the left fielder, Mesa Jr. now. And Mesa Jr. makes the catch. 2 outs. A little bit off the end of the bat, I guess. Yeah,
just a little out in front.
So that'll leave it up to Cal Stevenson. 2 outs here in the 9th.
I mean, I think if you're Cal Stevenson here, before you step in that box, you got to have a game plan, and his game plan should be looking first pitch fastball for his pitch. Stay away from that slider. Get that fastball.
Kingery gets the lead, and the first pitch sails outside. It is a fastball, but outside 1-0 to Cal Stevenson. Stevenson's flown out twice to center field in his 2 at-bats. Base hit could win it for the Phils. And the pitch. And that's over for a strike.
Devers out at shortstop is just in the hip pocket of Kingery, who's taking the lead. I'm okay with keeping him a step closer, but it's a little extreme right now how hard he's holding him, really opening up the shortstop hole.
And a little awkward swing there by Stevenson. And so now the count favors Alvarado. It's 1-2 to Cal Stevenson. And Kingery gets the lead he can off of second. Alvarado looks in and comes set. And the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Banfield. 2-2. Fans that are left here cheering on the Phils, hoping for a base hit here. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs in the pitch. Outside, 3-2 to Cal Stevenson.
No, he does not have to throw him a strike here. He has an open base. Kingery, of course, is the winning run on second base, so he can afford to nitpick, maybe something away, backdoor. Stevenson's got to be aware of that, protect that plate.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. So he gets the strikeout there, and this one here in Clearwater, is going to end in a tie. So the Phils able to come back. They trailed 4-0 at one point, got to within one, then fell back to 6-3, but then got to within one again, able to tie it up here in the ninth, and that's how it'll end. 6-6 is the final. And well, Kev, when you think back to early in this game, what did you like? What did you not like?
Well, I mean, Aaron Nola got hit around a little bit, right? I mean, he got beat up. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't like they were soft singles. I mean, Marlins came out swinging the bats on him. I'm sure he'll explain. Maybe he was just missing, working on something. That's what I think. I think offensively, it was good to see the guys out there. Saw some good defense again from Bryce Harper. I thought the Phillies offense hit some balls hard. We saw a line drive from JT. Castellanos hit it hard. A couple of guys did. So that's fine. It's still early. However, I also like the young guys. They're getting so much playing time from the 5th inning on. It's nice. They're the ones in the 9th inning the other day losing it.
Right.
It's nice to see them come back and tie it. So that's a good sign for those guys.
No doubt about it. Christian Pache also with a terrific catch out there in left field
Yes.
this afternoon. That was nice to see as well. All right, we told you the Minnesota Twins are coming to town tomorrow here at Baycare Ballpark. First pitch about 1:05 tomorrow afternoon. So join us on the Phillies radio network and along NBC's Sports Network as well. It'll be televised and on the radio tomorrow. We hope you'll join us then. All right, so some thank yous today. Our first webcast. We hope you enjoyed the pictures to go along with the call this afternoon. Dominic Repper and his whole staff here in Clearwater, thanks for your help. Our engineer here in the booth, as always, Joe Gaines, doing a terrific job. And for my partner, Kevin Stocker, I'm Greg Murphy saying thanks for listening. Phils tie the Marlins this afternoon, 6-6. We'll talk to you tomorrow.